Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. My name is Lana binti AMRAN. So today I would like to present about my project, which is Grocery Grab Virtual Reality Game on Financial Literacy for Early Learner. Okay, now I will start with the background study. Okay, for the background study here, it says that we know that financial literacy is mean that it's about understanding about the value of money, and at the same time, it's like how we can use that money wisely. And then the study also showed that in Malaysian, there is have a low financial knowledge, which can be said from the 70 in 2018. And then in 2019, it showed that 25.18% of bankruptcy cases in Malaysia involve people aged around 25 to 34, making them the most affected group. So from here, we know that there is a lot of adults not being exposed to this financial literacy. So one of the ways to overcome this problem is that we can teach the financial literacy since they were young, so that they can know how to manage their money more wisely. So this project actually uses the VR game to make financial literacy more engaging for the student elementary school. Okay, now we move on to the problem statement. So for this project, there are two problem statements. The first one is limited exposure to engaging material on financial literacy education, where we can see from Hamasha in 2023, it says that financial literacy is often overlooked in a school and only taught in the optional classes. And then without the interactive lesson, students will find it hard to understand and apply the financial concepts, since it's not really focused on the financial literacy. And then from the preliminary study that I did, the teacher also believed that using games and interactive tools can help make financial literacy more engaging and also effective. And then the second problem statement is less of an engaging learning experience while learning through the traditional method. Okay, this can be proved from the Sawandi in 2024. It says that research show that traditional methods are not effective in keeping students engaging in financial literacy. And then also that teaching needs to match the learning style of today's digital native student. Okay, since we know that now we're living in a digital era, so most of the students have their own gadget, so they have been exposed to the digital, and mostly they will play game every single day. So they say that the teacher should match with the digital native so that students will more focus their attention better. And then teacher also agree that young learner prefer fun and also interactive activity over the traditional lesson. Okay, for the objective, there are three objectives for this project. The first one is to model a 3D object about a virtual reality game on financial literacy for early learner. And then for the second objective is that to develop a virtual reality game on financial literacy for early learner. And the last but not least is to evaluate engaging experience in a virtual reality game on financial literacy for early learner as well. Okay, so for this project significance, there are three scopes. The first one is student, second one society, and the third one is for educators. So for the students, actually the important will make the learning of financial literacy more engaging, which is for students aged 10 to 12 years old by using the VR game. And then for the impact is that it will improve their financial literacy skills through the engaging learning. And then for society, the important is will help create more responsible citizens, since they are being exposed from they were still young. And then the impact also will help to build a financially smart and independent population as well. And then last but not least is for educator. From this project, which is using VR game, it will help to create a new way to teach financial literacy, and the impact will make the student more engaged better with the modern teaching method. Okay, for the overview of financial literacy, so as we know from the Rahla 2022, there are a couple of skills that cover in financial literacy. The first one is budget, saving, investment, managing debt, and also understanding the insurance. This way, from this skill, it will help people to use their money wisely and also avoid financial risk and achieve their goals like education, buying a house, and also for their retirement. And then the research show that over 80 countries support financial literacy program. This show that it's not only should be focused in our country, but it also have been focused in other country before our country as well. The need for financial literacy education through VR is that because financial literacy education is less effective if teachers lack the right skill. This is the research from the Becker in 2019. Okay, it showed that there is a little research that tell the teacher how they can teach the financial literacy. Okay, this show that the student and teacher also agree that the curriculum and also teaching method do not prepare them well for financial literacy. A shift to student-led and transdisciplinary learning is needed to make financial education more effective. Okay, the transdisciplinary learning means that the financial literacy is not only focused in one courses, it should be focused in more other subjects as well. And then the teachers need training and resources to create engaging financial literacy program. Okay, so for this project, I use a DGDLC methodology, which involve 5 steps. The first one is initiation, the second one is pre-production, the third one is production, the fourth one is testing, and last but not least is release. But the release won't be released because it's under a university. And then why I choose the GDLC methodology is because it's a structured process which is shown that clear step-by-step framework, and then it's also a continuous improvement where I can still update where I can enhance the qualities until I got the one that I want. And then there is also error reduction, which is going to minimize the confusion and mistake. And last but not least, it also can help to balance the design. It's going to ensure the smoothness of the gameplay. Okay, since GDLC have 4 phases that I imply, the first one is initial phase. This initial phase is about a study of financial literacy and also a study about the virtual reality game, and then to create the literature review. Okay, for the second one is the pre-production phase. So for this pre-production phase is where the flowchart, design the flowchart, and also design the storyboard is being implemented. Okay, for the third phase is production phase. This production phase, I use Unity, Blender, and also Visual Studio Code to create the VR games. So for Unity, I use to create a character, star, and also 3D object. And then for the Blender, I use to model the product, items, and also the floor texture. And then for Visual Studio Code is where I connect all the functions to make sure that, like coding, to make sure that the gameplay is work. Okay, so for the fourth phase is testing phase. So in this testing phase, there are 2 testing. The first one is alpha testing. The second one is beta testing. So for the alpha testing is actually using a black box testing, which is going to check the game feature to find is there any error about the interface or data problem or any performance glitch. And then for the beta testing is actually for participants to know how many participants, which is for me there are 30 students, and then using a sampling method by using the conventions sampling. And then the procedure is where I'm going to distribute the mobile phones, and then after they complete the game, they will have to answer the Google form around 15 to 20 minutes, and then they can finish the game. And then for the instrument is that I'm using the user engagement skill, which is a short form from the UES, and then this is a face evaluation tool. Okay, now for the engagement evaluation, I use the user engagement skill, which is a short form UES. This is used to evaluate the engagement for the students, and then they also focus in 4 areas. The first one is focus attention, second one is perceived usability, third one is aesthetic elements, and last but not least is the reward factors. And all the content has been provided in the image below. Okay, so this is the overall finding after doing the evaluation testing. So for this, there are 4 factors, and I already calculated the total mean. The first one is focus attention, which is total mean is 4.41, and then for the perceived usability is 3.25, and then for aesthetic element is 4.37, for the reward factor is 4.61, and then for the total average mean is that 4.16. And then the overall user engagement skill percentage is 83.2%, which show that a strong rating of engagement from the students. Okay, as a conclusion, Grocery Grab Virtual Reality Game on Financial Literacy for Early Learner have successfully demonstrated its potential as an engaging education tool with an overall engagement rate which is 83.2%, where user feedbacks indicate that the game is engaging in supporting financial literacy among young learners. Despite achieving its core objective, the project also faced a couple of limitations, including a limited evaluation scope, since I'm only doing a Sekolah Seri Mendapat. So it's not really cover all the scope, and then for the platform restriction only to mobile, it cannot be used for the PC or laptop. It's just only for mobile. And then for there is also limitation from UI complexity due to the workspace canvas, where it's hard for the user to focus the camera. And then there is also going to have a future improvement where we'll focus on expanding the evaluation sample, enabling multiple platform compatibility, and also further refining interaction design to enhance the user engagement and also the learning outcome. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Welcome to Grocery Shop. Welcome to Grocery Shop. Welcome to Grocery Shop.